last year he didn't have the wide receivers. Well, this year you got a very, very, very good wide receiver corps, so we believe. You got to show that you can be a starting quarterback in this league. I think Jared Goff can be very serviceable for the Detroit Lions for the next 2 years, but he will never be the answer.
Kirk Cousins is better than Jared Goff, easily.
Find me a list of anybody outside of Detroit, Braylon, that has any sort of faith in Jared Goff.
I'm trying to think of how to describe it. Because from 2000 prior,
look at this guy.
I know, I saw him over there wilding.
You know what? This is going to turn into a thing. This is going to be like Good Morning America.
Yeah.
We're going to have people out there holding signs and stuff. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I've been to movement probably like 2011. I went to every movement 2011 through 2018. I went to all of them. This was like the most comfortable movement I think I've ever been to. Like, there was a lot of people, but there was space. It was easy. It was like easy moving around. The weather was beautiful Saturday night, so a nice breeze. It felt cool. Felt good.
And it was just good to be amongst people again, man. I miss concerts. I miss people. I miss that energy. I miss just all of it. So
That's really the point too, Stick and Braylon, is all these big events coming back to the city. I mean, I can't think of a bigger event that this city has held in the last 3 years than hosting 300,000+ people down at Hart Plaza in downtown for movement. I can't think of one other than this is the first big one.
I met some awesome people from Romania, and we met up every day and took pictures together and stuff. Like, it was great. Yeah, Romanian chicks.
The thing I love about
That's what's up.
We don't speak English, but that's okay.
They speak the language
Come
that
on,
matters.
Maz.
Come on, Maz. What do you think this is?
It's interesting that you have 300,000 or 500,000 before every year for movement, and you never things never happen. Like the clubs stay open all night, which is the only weekend they allow that to happen in downtown Detroit. Throughout the year, clubs stay open all night. You have all these people. They're doing more than just drinking alcohol. We'll say that. And you never hear nobody dies. There's no murders. There's no fights. There's no nothing. It's just love. Like that EDM music and just music festival vibes, always different, man. Everybody's really there just to have a good time.
Yeah, I tried to describe it to my mom, and I'm like, Mom, it's just modern day hippies.
Right.
Like, that's what it is.
Gang, I want to get back into the NFL. We talked so much about quarterbacks in this game, and as we mentioned, 100 days to the NFL season starts, and one of the things that I'm most excited about in just generically talking about the NFL is all these great quarterbacks. We here in Detroit do not believe we have a great quarterback, but I think he is somebody you can win with. Now, you got to build your franchise around him for the next decade? I don't think so. But I do think Jared Goff is somebody that you can win games with and potentially even a division championship and a couple of playoff games. We'll take our swings.
This is definitely a make-or-break year for Jared Goff, but in a different way for me. He's already been paid upwards of $30 million a year. He's gotten to that plateau. So once you get to that plateau, it's not make or break. You're here. You're at that plateau. Somebody will always, pay you what you're worth and pay you that $30 million. What I think is his make or break is last year he didn't have the wide receivers until the end of the year. He didn't have the wide receivers. The running backs were injured. There was the linemen. There's always something. Well, this year you got a very, very, very good wide receiver corps, so we believe. DeAndre Swift comes back healthy this year. Jamal Williams as well. Offensive line is going to be there. Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker, Penei Sewell. You'll have those guys in there, so you'll be taken care of. You got to show that you can be a starting quarterback in this league. Because you see guys like Jared Goff, you see guys like Carson Wentz, you see guys like Mitchell Trubisky, where they come in, the number one first-round draft picks, and then it doesn't work out for them, and slowly but surely they become Nick Foles. Now you're just a backup, which, $12, $13 million to be a backup quarterback isn't a bad gig, but that's not what Jared Goff wants. Jared Goff doesn't want to be a backup quarterback. He wants to be a starter. And I'm pretty sure he wants to get it done here in Detroit. So that's why it's a make-or-break year for him, for me. I think he has to prove that he can still be a starter in this league, because if you don't have success after this year, and then there's one more year like that, you're no longer starting this league now, and now you're a backup, and you don't want to be a backup.
Look at Carson Wentz as well. He's got a lot to prove.
Yep.
This is probably his last
Mitchell
chance.
Trubisky, Carson Wentz.
Yeah. There's a bunch of them out there, and that's
Jameis Winston.
I mean, I think the next step for all those guys that I just mentioned is they're going to take the next step into being a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
That's all. And you know what? I'll take Jared Goff as my backup quarterback.
I would love
I'm
Jared
going to
Goff
pay
as a
$30 million.
backup.
I'm going to pay him $10 million. But that's it.
I can
because
15.
you do need a real backup quarterback, which we don't have right now.
I'm not the biggest and in fact, I'm not at all a fan of Chris Sims. I never liked the guy for whatever reason, from his college playing days to nothing. I don't know why.
Something about Chris Sims and Casey Clausen. I ain't like either one.
I just don't like him. But he had that was his top 40 quarterback countdown.
Yeah.
And there's only 32 teams. He had Jared Goff at 30.
Yeah.
Right? I've seen lists with Jared Goff at 28, 29, 27, 25, maybe as high as 20.
No.
Maybe. But even that, you're talking about a guy that's outside of being ranked as by anybody. I'm not just saying by one guy.
Correct.
Find me a list of anybody outside of Detroit, Braylon, that has any sort of faith in Jared Goff. And again, I think I'm not going to go back on what I said. I think they win 10 games this year and potentially win a division. And I guess I shouldn't even say that because this is a conversation about Jared Goff right now, not a let's beat up on Ryan 10-win prediction thing. But I think you can win with him, but he's not a top 20, top 25 guy. And if he's not that guy, you constantly are looking for his replacement.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, 100%. You know, and it's okay. There are guys like that. Kirk Cousins just is not that guy. Some guys aren't that guy. They're good enough. Like Kirk Cousins is a guy, you put the right pieces around him. You put a Dalvin Cook, a Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. You revamp the defensive side of the ball, especially in that secondary. Kirk Cousins can get you to the second round of the playoff. Maybe even get you to
NFC championship.
NFC championship, a conference finals. He's not going to win you a Super Bowl. Same thing with Jared Goff.
You don't know that.
Like, I do know that because I saw it in action. He was in the Super Bowl and he didn't win. He didn't win. But you put the right pieces around him. You add Jameson Williams. You add DJ Chark. You add Aiden Hutchinson on offense. The defensive side of the ball in the draft. They got some good players. They got some good momentum, some good energy. They got a good identity. At least they feel it. They're buying into what their coach taught them last year and this year. Hey, man, I think he'll definitely have more success this year because you have more weapons. You have more. I think he's settled in a little bit. He likes Detroit. He's running around Birmingham with security guards. He's not doing that anymore. Mm-hmm. I think Jared Goff can be very serviceable for the Detroit Lions for the next 2 years, but he will never be the answer.
Kirk Cousins could get this team to the playoffs or win a game.
I agree.
That's my opinion.
And
right now,
next year,
as we speak, right now,
this Detroit Lions team?
Yes.
Nah.
If you believe that, I'll humor you for a minute. If you believe that, then you also should believe that Jared Goff can too.
No.
Why not?
Let me ask you a question. Which one of those two quarterbacks ever made it to a Super Bowl?
It's the team he was on. It's the coach that he had. Kirk Cousins is better than Jared Goff. Easily. Stick, you're there. You can put your mic on. You got an opinion. Go ahead.
I don't really have an opinion on this.
All right, shut your mic off. Braylon, you're up.
Kirk Cousins and Goff. Goff's been there. I don't know. They are the same guy to me, essentially. So if Goff is a little bit better, maybe Kirk Cousins needed that great throw to Stephon Diggs to get them to the championship game. I'm not impressed with either of them on that level, but I do think you put the right team around them. Both of them will get you. Rex Grossman got to a Super Bowl. These guys can get you there.
I was just about to say that was Case Keenum. That people always forget that. But no, Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback than Jared Goff because one, his arm is stronger. Two, I just like the way he goes through his reads better. And then three, with Kirk Cousins, I see attitude. I see somebody that talks to the team. I see a guy that speaks up. I see a guy that gets guys lined up. He's not afraid to talk some stuff to his teammates, other guys on the offensive line. That's not Jared Goff. Jared Goff's just a...
Shut up. Shut up.
Nuh-uh.
Shut up. Nuh-uh. They won?
Yeah,
I love it.
And it's not a bad thing. Not everybody is a loud and vocal leader, and not everybody does all that. But at the same time, the energy that he had when he got that first win, when he threw the touchdown to Amon-Ra St. Brown, that energy, that's what I want to see out of a starting quarterback.
I'll eat crow, man. I hope he does well. That's all I'm going to say.
No, it's your opinion.
Crow.
It's fine. I
fine.
don't care. Again, we have these preconceived notions about many players, right? Kirk Cousins is one of those guys that I never liked.
State guy.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
$40 million a year.
Guys,
someone likes him.